I wish I had a better world, kinda gentler if you will, where you could raise a boy or girl and have faith in their future still. I wish I had a better world with better folks than you or me, who'd tolerate their differences and wouldn't hate so easily. I wonder what God thinks about, what goes through that godly mind. Is it I wish I had a better world? I'll make a better world next time. I wish I had a better world where all the women look like Jamie Lee. Yes, I wish I had a better world and handsome meant you look like me. Every day is a sunny day, tropical breeze to blow your blues away. Days are warm and the nights are hot. I wouldn't trade this world on any world you got. It's the best of all possible worlds. 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 We got the nuclear power just working for us. Good, clean energy.
Hello everyone, my name is Joe Kirkner, Director of Development and Communications here at the YMCA. I'd like to start us off with a quick devotional from one of my favorite Bible verses, Matthew 25. And the righteous will answer him, Lord, when was it that we saw you hungry and gave you food, or thirsty and gave you something to drink? And when was it that we saw you a stranger and welcomed you, or naked and gave you clothing? And when was it we saw you sick or in prison and visited you? And the king will answer them, Truly I tell you, just as you did it to one of the least of these who are members of my family, you did it to me. It's really easy to be nice to people we like or think are important. Who hasn't gone the extra mile for their boss, significant other, cute puppy, best friend, or family member? It's not as easy to be nice to people we don't like or who we're conditioned not to think are important. Who hasn't told themselves that it's not their problem to help the person experiencing homelessness, convicted criminal, suffering farmed animal, office bully, rude customer, or estranged family member? This verse tells us that God is in everyone, no matter who they are or where they come from, so we need to be there for all members of God's family. This verse rings true for me because I find that praying for people I quite frankly don't like is one of the most rewarding actions I can take. I'm still working towards constantly being there for the least of these, But I think it's safe to say I'm not alone in this struggle. I simply need to keep reminding myself we're all equal in God's eyes and that our worldly concepts of value make no difference to God. I hope that you will join me in practicing love and not judgment for as long as God permits us to live in this world. Who are some of the people in your life you can be more compassionate towards who you've been ignoring? Maybe it's as simple as picking up the phone and calling that strange family member, or striking up a conversation with the man who's been sleeping on the park bench you pass on the way to work. So I'll take one small unified step to living a more compassionate life. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Larry Richardson. I am the CEO of the Lancaster Family YMCA, currently under management agreement. My daytime job is the president and CEO of the YMCA of York and York County. I've been involved and engaged in the Lancaster community officially under this management agreement since September, but I go back into the mid-90s with friendships and professional colleague relationships with the Lancaster Family Y, and over the years, part of the Lancaster YMCA community, either in joint efforts or collegial activities. And so it's been a real blessing for us to be involved in the Lancaster community. There's no doubt that the Lancaster YMCA has had a heavy lift and has met some challenges in the past couple years. But I will say that since we've been there in September and prior, way before this, we are people that see what's happening in the Lancaster community with the Lancaster YMCA as possibilists. I know it's a tough word for me to say, but we believe in the possibilities of the Lancaster Y, and we've seen those shoulder to shoulder, and we've eyewitnessed the Lancaster Family Y not only being stabilized, but continue to thrive. It would have been a shame for 166 years to see the Lancaster YMCA go away in the Lancaster community and no longer serve the critical and emerging needs under its mission, serving the people that wish to access its programs and services. And if that were to be discontinued, it just would have been a shame. So we're actually blessed to be part of the organization there. Again, we've seen it open safely. We've taken steps along with the board leadership to recalculate its debt and to do it in a more sustainable operational model. We have the management agreement with the York YMCA that we're actually now engaged in merger conversations to respectfully serve the greater geographical region in the lower Susquehanna Valley in a better way for both communities. And we're anxious to see what strengths we can leverage to really see the YMCA mission thrive in Lancaster and in York. And I think both organizations will continue to grow and build on one another's strengths. To that end, we're in this Without Your Why campaign, which is one of the areas that we're trying to embolden, or we're trying to move on in terms of strategies. The campaign is $1.5 million. We are eclipsing or moving close to the 50% mark. So thank you to those in the community that have already stepped up. We're asking you to consider, and we thank you for the work that you're doing, but also to consider yourself and others in your spheres of influence to participate in this much needed community campaign that will assure that the Lancaster Family YMCA over the next 18 to 24 months will have the operating dollars it needs to continue to reposition itself in a responsible and a sustainable way, so that we do not go back to where they were, where the Lancaster Y may have been a year or so ago, with rumors or even conversations in the community that possibly the Lancaster YMCA could cease to exist. That is not going to happen. Thankfully, to board leadership, community leadership, the staff that stayed on and stayed with the YMCA in this time of challenge, the members, thank you, those who have come back during this time of challenge in the pandemic, all have now formed a foundation that will assure this YMCA will continue to exist, hopefully for another 166 years. A critical component about this, to make this happen though, will be this Without Your Why campaign. So we need your help. We thank you for your help. And why is it so critically important? I sit before you as a YMCA kid at age 12 that was a recipient, myself and my sister, of free YMCA day camp in the summer when our parents had divorced. And my mother needed to go look for a job because in the late 60s, most women did not work outside the home. And I never knew why or how we ended up in that YMCA day camp. But we did because someone in the community paid for my sister and I to attend 10 weeks of day camp while my mother could go out and find a job. It was at no cost to her. I didn't learn this till I was a young adult. In fact, I wasn't even in the YMCA at the time, but I did contribute to the YMCA through the United Way, through the various professions I've been in. But when I had an opportunity to come into the YMCA, there's not a day that goes by or a time when we're talking about annual campaigns or we're talking about culture of philanthropy that I don't recall that as a 12-year-old and how very thankful and blessed I was. And I want to make sure those blessings continue to every child or every adult or every senior or every infant or every preschooler that wants to come to the outstanding programs and access the programs and services of the YMCA that we have shown to empirically impact people's lives can do so without worrying about finances. If they cannot afford it, the YMCA mission and our commitment is to be sure that everyone can access YMCA's programs and services regardless of their ability to pay. So thank you for joining us. We're excited about where the Lancaster Family YMCA is. We're excited that you're part of our team, and know that shoulder to shoulder, the staff is here with you if you need our assistance. We want to make sure that this campaign will be successful, and it will be, thanks to your efforts. Thank you.
I'm Steve Kirkner. I'm the current board chair of the Lancaster Family YMCA. I've been involved on the board for about 5-6 years now. Been a member of the Y for about 10 years. I always have been very passionate about the Y. Even when I go back to my youth, I wasn't always a member of the Y, but I used it on occasions. I've always been a very passionate person. Felt very passionate about what physical fitness and the structure of those activities and all that the Y can offer, what that can do for the community, for teens, adults, children. I think that is something that goes a very long way to benefiting the community as a whole. Well, we've been doing quite a lot over the past year to sustain the Y. It's been a very challenging year. I think in the 166-year history of the Lancaster Family Y, I would say that this has probably been the most challenging year that we've ever experienced. We had to close our doors March 16th of 2020 and send our members home, and we didn't know when we would be able to reopen. We worked very hard over the summer of last year to re-engage with staff, re-engage with our members, engage with health officials to determine exactly how to reopen in a safe manner, to get our members back, have our staff work in a safe environment. One of the biggest things we did was we did engage with the York YMCA and Larry Richardson and his team. That we knew we needed CEO leadership and some of the support that they could give us. So we did partner with the York Y at that time, and it's been a fantastic partnership. They've done a tremendous job. Larry and his leadership and his team have done a wonderful job. So from September through the end of the year, we were able to keep everybody safe. We were able to reopen gradually and in phased manners to the point where we are almost completely reopened on a full-time basis now. So it has been a very, very difficult year. There's been a lot of heavy lifting, and there still is a lot of heavy lifting, but we're very happy with where we've come over this past year. But we still need we still need more members to come back. We know they might be reluctant, but we are running a very safe environment here. One thing I'd like to say is the community of Lancaster needs the YMCA, but the YMCA also needs the community. So we need the community support of the YMCA so that we're going to be here for another 166 years in the future. My vision for the Y is that we are a partner in the community. That we, first of all, have to be sustainable financially. We've made great strides in reducing our debt levels, which helps our sustainability. But we need to be part of the fabric of this community, that when the community needs us, they can come to the Y and say, we need you to do this, or we need you to do that. That may be a variety of different things. One thing that we were able to do recently was a lot of local high schools needed a pool for their swim teams this past winter because their access to their pools was not available. We're able to offer that to 4 different high schools in Lancaster County to be able to use our pools. So that was a big help to them. It was a help to us as well. But those are the types of things where whatever the community needs, we want to be there to fulfill whatever they need, whether it be support for children. One of the things that we do is we want to continue our pre-K counts program and our camp programs for our children, bring back our Power Scholars Academy for school district Lancaster children in the summertime. That close that achievement gap is one of our major priorities with our children, to allow them to close that gap with their education, improve their education over the summer, be more prepared for the school year. Also, some of our Live Strong, our cancer survivor programs. We want to be there to be able to continue those programs, partner with Lancaster General Health with our cancer survivor programs. Some of our safety around water programs are very important, getting some of our school-age children back in to teach them to swim again, or teach them swimming so that they can remain safe around water. Truly, whatever the community needs, we just want to be here and be part of this community for many, many more years. We are working very, very hard here at the Y. Your board and your staff are very committed to a very safe environment here at the Y. Please, if you are a member, you still have membership, please come back, check us out. We are a very safe environment, but we do need you back to sustain the Y. We need our donors to continue their support of the Y. And please be assured that we will do everything that we can so that the Y will be here for the community of Lancaster.
So hi, I'm Jen Reinhardt, and I am a member of the association board, and I'm chair of the city branch boards. So I first got involved with the Y about 24 years ago when I had moved to Lancaster and had just started having a family and I needed an outlet. So the Y has a pool and has a master's team, and I started swimming with the master's team and got involved, noticed a real sense of community with that team, and then that just expanded to me getting involved in other groups and classes at the Y. So the Y has had a huge impact on, I'm gonna get emotional, on me personally. So through the conversations and through the relationships that I've made at the Y, I actually have found my birth family. And people listen to each other. So a friend on the swim team was listening. Lots of deep conversations take place. And she was a family physician. She had a patient come in and said, kind of reminds me of Jen. And long story short, turns out a year later, after a lot of different conversations and probing, turns out that my friend's having a conversation at another appointment with this woman, and realized the woman had given a child up for adoption, and right around the same time I was probably born. And through some questioning, my friend realized that I think this is a mother-daughter that have been separated. And so she asked, do you know much about this child you gave up? And she did, and everything that this woman shared matched with what my friend knew about me and the situation. And at the end she said, I think I know who your daughter is. And called me a couple days later with permission from this woman as well, and said, Jen, I don't know how you're gonna react to this, but I have some news for you, and I think I know who your birth mother is. So a couple days later we met, and it was her. And that was about 15 years ago. And the timing was impeccable because about 6 weeks after I met my birth mother and extended family, including a sister, she passed away. She had a heart attack and she passed away. So I had 6 weeks with her, but then a lifetime with some new family members. So it's been pretty amazing. But it just shows how relationships develop. You don't just come and work out and walk home. You get to know people, and people really do look out for each other and care about each other.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mike Smith. I'm the Director of Operations here with the Lancaster Family YMCA, and I want to thank you for tuning in and joining us for this virtual campaign kickoff, which is the start of the annual fundraising campaign that raises the dollars needed for mission-based work here at the YMCA. I just want to share with you a couple of important initiatives that we'll be relaunching this spring and summer. And this will begin with our Live Strong program, which supports cancer patients and their caregivers. We will also be restarting our summer camp programs that will be day camps at the Lampeter, Strasburg, and city branches, in addition to our pre-K camp here in Lancaster. Additionally, we will be opening our outdoor pools. So we were not able to open the Lampeter, Strasburg outdoor pool last year, but that will be happening this year, in addition to us managing the Mannheim and Leola outdoor pools as well. So I hope you will join me in considering a gift to the Without Your Why annual campaign that raises, again, very important funds to support the mission-based work here at the Lancaster Family YMCA. Thank you.
Every day is a sunny day, tropical breeze to blow your blues away. Days are warm and the nights are hot. I wouldn't trade this world for any world you got. It's the best of all possible worlds. 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 We got the nuclear power just working for us. Good clean energy without the fuss. Don't have to shovel no